Hey, welcome on into the 2017 CrossFit Games. They are presented by Reebok, and we are out at the Alliant Energy Center doing the sports news. Yes, a very special edition here this week on the sports news. We're going to get to talk to a lot of the people that are involved, but first I want to let you know that it is powered by the Red Zone over on Regent Street and of course Conan Automotive down in Stoughton. Stick around, we are outside all through the show here in the sports news on 57 Sports. All right, back out here at the Reebok CrossFit Games 2017. I am Rich Reynolds. A little bit sunny, that's why I had the sunglasses on. We are outside and we are just about ready to get the CrossFit Games started. Literally thousands of people working on this. Over 600 athletes are involved, and all these stands here are going to be packed very, very shortly. In fact, there are lots of places where activities are going to be going on. Behind us, over in that direction, over by Quan Park almost, there is a huge setup, almost like a steeplechase kind of a look. The obstacle course is right behind me here. That's where a lot of the action is going to center. And also in the Coliseum itself, in the exhibition hall, there are vendors, there are athletes, there are spectators. It is absolutely a huge deal to have the CrossFit Games here in Madison. We're going to try and bring you a taste of it on the show and everything that you might be able to experience, and not only this year, but in future years here at the CrossFit Games. Okay, a lot of interviews coming up. Stick around. It's the CrossFit Games edition of the sports news on 57 Sports.
Welcome back to this special edition of the Sports News. We're here today at the 2017 CrossFit Games. I'm super excited to introduce you to this team right now. You guys aren't from around here?
No.
Where are you guys from?
We're from Reykjavik, Iceland.
Oh my gosh, so is this your first time here in Madison?
In Madison, yes.
Okay, how about the heat? It's a little hot out here today.
Yeah, it's a little humid.
Okay.
But, you know, it's okay.
So tell me a little bit about where you're from and what you're competing in here at the Games.
Yeah, we're from Iceland, and we are competing at CrossFit.
Awesome.
The CrossFit Games.
Any particular events or things?
Yeah, we're gonna run, swim, run tomorrow.
Okay.
And we're gonna do an obstacle course.
Awesome.
Do a bunch of weird things.
Now let's talk about this obstacle course a little bit, because this is insane. All the athletes have been running through it this morning. You guys just went through. What was it like? It looks tough.
We actually went to practice
Sure.
at a mini obstacle course, so we're not totally new.
Yeah.
But you know, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard. It's a lot of it's teamwork. Sometimes you have to push someone up and stuff like that.
Is there a hard part of the course, a part that's the most challenging?
Yeah, probably the ropes over there.
Oh, that one looks like a tough one. That's a
So you have
tough
to
one.
swing and land and balance.
So how have you guys been preparing for the CrossFit Games? This is a really big deal.
We've actually been practicing, training together since Christmas.
Wow.
And we competed at the Europeans to get to the CrossFit Games. So yeah, we've been practicing for, I don't know, 8 months together.
How long have you guys been here in Madison?
Since the 22nd.
Okay, so you kind of got a little bit of time to adjust.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty huge. That's
so
the huge part.
have you guys been pretty nervous? Are you pretty confident going into the competition?
I think we're pretty confident.
Yeah. What would you say is the best piece of advice for people like myself? I'm new to CrossFit. I just started training at a gym. For people who may think it's intimidating or they think women can't do CrossFit, what would you say to them?
I would say come try out.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really fun.
And I know you mentioned too the team aspect of it all, which is something I think people may not think about. They think about lifting heavy weights, you know, these crazy acts of athleticism. What sort of teamwork goes into this?
It's a lot of communication.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that you don't go faster than the slowest athlete.
Right.
You can't outrun the best. So, you know, yeah, you have to be patient.
Yeah.
You have to talk with your inner voice.
I love it. I love it. Do you have anything you want to say to your family back home who maybe sees this here from Madison, Wisconsin?
Yeah, I hope you're watching.
Awesome.
I hope you see us on TV.
Oh, I wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you being with us. And we'll be back more with the sports news right after this.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics. All right, we are out at the CrossFit Games 2017 presented by Reebok. We're at the Alliant Energy Center. The grounds are being utilized completely here. It is a massive setup. As we talk to a guy who knows a little bit more about it than I do, hopefully he can give you some scope as to what's going on. As we have Jamie Patrick here with the Madison Area Sports Commission. And Jamie, first of all, thanks for joining us. And if you could kind of explain basically your role, what you're doing with everything that's going on here.
Absolutely. The Madison Area Sports Commission is charged with bringing events to Dane County to increase the economic impact of Dane County. And so we saw the CrossFit Games as an opportunity to infuse our city with a huge event with a great quality of life that drove a lot of economic impact to our area, and it is starting to pay off this week.
Yeah, I think one thing, the word huge might be an understatement. It's amazing how big this thing is. Every bit of real estate all the way back to Quan Park seems to be utilized here. How many people basically are involved, even with the setup, athletes, everything? How many people do you estimate?
Thousands of people. There's 640 athletes. There's probably 1,500 volunteers and staff members helping to put on the games. And there's going to be about 16,000 spectators a day. And you don't really understand the scope unless you come out here to see it for yourself.
Yeah, and you absolutely should. It is incredible to see all the stuff. The obstacle course and the bleachers that surround it is like the centerpiece, it seems like, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So you have that role of determining too, like an economic impact for Madison, for Dane County. What's the estimate here?
Our number is at $7.2 million, which is a very conservative estimate. We expect it to be bigger than that, but we like to make sure our numbers are accurate.
So yeah, and the CrossFit Games, this is something that it kind of seems like it's made its home like in California more than anywhere else. How did you get it out here?
Yeah, it was in California for the last 10 years, 7 of those in LA. You know, they were starting to think about a new place to be, and with our fit and active community, we just thought it was the right place for us. We had the venues like the Alliant Energy Center where they could really build on their vision of what happens. So once we got them here to see the place, they saw that same vision and expanded on it.
Wow. Now, besides the stuff that's going on for the athletes and all the events that are happening here, what about for the spectators? What can they kind of expect when they come here?
They can expect to see a lot of different competitions from the teen age groups, team, masters, and of course elite athletes. There's also over 200,000 square foot of expo space where you can not only go and see what's going on, what the culture of CrossFit is like, but there's also spectator workout areas where you can jump in and be a part of it.
Yeah, it seems like there's places to try out equipment, look at equipment, buy stuff. There's all kinds of things going on here. And besides too, if you're a spectator, hey, there's beer gardens, there's foods of all kinds. Absolutely incredible setup. So we got this for the weekend, and then what? The CrossFit Games coming back then here to Madison?
We'll be back the next 2 years, yep.
Perfect. Absolutely incredible event. Jamie, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We're looking forward to a great event out here on this special edition of the Sports News right here on 57 Sports.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
3 minutes remaining.
Hi and welcome back. We are so excited to be here for a special edition on location at the 2017 CrossFit Games for our local sports news on Channel 57 television. I have behind me an obstacle course. I've got athletes, they're revving up for the games. The big deal is starting today. I'm so lucky to be standing here with Mr. Tim Chan, who's the press secretary for the whole deal. So you seem pretty calm right now. You got a lot going on.
Yeah, well, we've been doing this for a while, but it's our first time in Madison. We're really excited to be here.
Thank you for coming here and bringing the games here. It's lovely.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, I've been to the Coliseum, the Alliant Energy Center for several events over the course of my life, and the transformation is incredible. Just walking around here, it's not the same place. You all have taken it and making it into a truly home for the CrossFit Games, so thank you.
Yeah, it's magnificent. We took something that was just a parking lot and built this.
I know.
And then behind this, we have another competition field. So the opportunity here has been immense. We love this space.
Good.
That was one of the reasons why we selected Madison, is the opportunity and the canvas that we have to test the fittest on earth.
Absolutely. I like how you pointed out as a canvas to kind of paint on and build on to create this environment for these folks to truly show us what they've got.
And even on the other side of this, we'll have the cyclocross course
Okay.
they're going to be doing, and the obstacle course. In addition, in the Coliseum, you're going to see them doing weightlifting and gymnastics movements and all kinds of amazing things this weekend.
Wow. So there's so much to expect from the CrossFit Games. As Tim here was saying, we're going to have obstacle course action that we see behind us. We're going to have some barbell competitions or weightlifting competitions, something like that, some gymnastics. For those of you out there that are familiar with CrossFit as a lifestyle and a sport, this is the fittest on earth. This is cream of the crop, if you will, of the CrossFit. These folks had to compete for how long now? Regionals were months back.
It's a three-stage process.
Okay.
It's first the Open, which is the online competition. The
1
top of the
minute
Open
remaining,
go on to
1 minute.
regionals, and the top people from regionals come to the CrossFit Games.
Wow, so this competition has been going here for several months now to get here.
Correct, since like February and March.
February and March, that's what I thought.
Long journey.
Wow, so here in Madison at the CrossFit Games, what can people expect? So today, this is kind of the beginning to gear up some of the practice and still things are being built. What can people see over the next few days here?
A lot. It's not just about the competition, but there's a great fan experience. We've got a beer garden, we've got
30 seconds
food
remaining, 30
trucks,
seconds.
we've got a lot of fan experiences too. They can actually do the run, swim, run if they want to.
Okay.
And there's going to be all kinds of fun vendors who also have stuff they can try out. We have a fan experience indoor.
Oh, wow.
And there's a lot to do. It's a fun family event, and they
Yeah.
can still get day tickets if you
Okay.
want to just come check it out for $34, and
Okay.
that's a festival ticket. And on Saturday we have Yela Wolf,
Okay.
who's a rapper,
Athletes clear the
who's
field.
coming. He's going to do a performance between 5:30 and 6:30.
Wow.
So we've got all kinds of stuff for the community to come out and enjoy, and
Wow.
also spectate the CrossFit Games.
What a great just opportunity for folks in Madison. This is a town that people like to get outdoors and do their exercise here. People love to swim, bike, all that kind of working out stuff. So for Madison as a community, thank you for bringing this amazing opportunity here to Madison.
You're welcome, and thank you for hosting us.
Oh my
and
gosh, we're
having
so
us.
proud, and we're so proud. Thank you for talking with me today. Lots to be seen here at the 2017 CrossFit Games. Don't miss it. We're gonna have some wrap-up stuff too after the games to find out how it all went and who gets to take home all the winning. Tim
Yeah.
Chan, thank you so much for being with
Thank you
us
so much
today.
for having me.
Thank you, and expect more here at the 2017 CrossFit Games. Thank you for joining us for this sports news, and we'll have more after the break.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
Hi, and welcome back to the Sports News. It's our special edition here at the 2017 CrossFit Games. I am so thrilled to be standing next to this young man, Hunter McIntyre. He is a brand ambassador for Second Skin, now available at Dick's Sporting Goods. Hunter, thank you for being with me today. How are you?
I'm awesome. I've been working out all day with all these awesome people. You're up next. And, you got to take advantage of the weather out here. I think I'm going to go jump in a lake over there.
It's a beautiful day for that. It's a beautiful community for that. We're surrounded by lakes here in Madison. Welcome to Madison, by the way. So what brings you out here to the CrossFit Games? Tell me all your connections.
Yeah, I'm a big enthusiast of CrossFit. I train it. I don't compete in it. I'm an obstacle course racer, but it's still fun to be in the gym with a bunch of people, testing yourself every single day. Being here, representing Second Skin, they're my awesome sponsor. Work with a couple other people around here, but it's awesome to watch athletes compete. Makes me want to work harder, kind of want to achieve something bigger. So it's admiring them.
Absolutely. This community is so inspiring, and it makes you want to go do this. It makes you want to compete, but it makes you want to have your own goals and reach them. Tell me about your goals.
For me, I always want to pick a new race every single year that's going to scare me a little bit. So, like this year, I'm going to go over to Europe and do Swim Run World Championships. It's a lot of swimming, a lot of running, really scary. But, that's just something that's going to make me improve, and then I get to look back on it and say, when I'm older, like, damn, dude, you did a lot. You're a pretty bad dude.
That's a great attitude. You're going to be proud of yourself in this world, right? Who else is going to be? So tell me a little bit about Second Skin as a product. What does it do for you? What do you like about it?
Yeah, I'm mostly impressed with Second Skin because this is the first kind of brand that's really stepped up to make gear for athletes like this. Like I was saying, 10 years ago, this didn't exist. So the clothing for it didn't exist, Nike, Under Armour, all those things, they've been out there, but these people are making things specifically for this kind of activity, that kind of lifestyle. And for me, I know that every single time I go out, this is kind of products that I can trust, I love, fits well, have a good time in it.
And so the idea behind it is that you can wear it, be comfortable, and keeps the sweat action low when you're really working it out.
They have basically, I think it's copper in here so that it doesn't allow smell to come in. Amazing stuff. I'm not a scientist, but I'm impressed.
That's amazing. I did not know that at all. So tell me a little bit more about obstacle course racing. What does that mean for folks out there that don't know what that means?
Yeah, obstacle course racing is interesting. I'm sure you've heard of things like American Ninja Warrior, and then there's things like Spartan races, Tough Mudders. It's kind of a wide arrangement of different things you can challenge yourself in. But for me, it's an awesome combination of running, going out there, trying things you've never done before. You get a little bit wet, you get a little scared. Like there was even one obstacle last year where we had to jump off a 38-foot high cliff into water to get to the next section of the course. So you never know what you're going to go up against, but it's fun and worth the challenge.
And it's a bit of a game. It's kind of like getting out there playing and risking stuff and having a good time all the while. Tell me about your favorite moments here at CrossFit 2017 so far.
Oh, my favorite moments by far has to be we were playing a game of horseback here. It's a fun game where I set a move and you got to match it, and if you don't, shame on you.
That's like the basketball game horse kind of, right?
Yeah, but it's fun. You know, it's a gym version of it, and everybody can get involved. We were calling people out in the crowd. Everybody steps in, you know, all good laughs. Even if you don't make it, you know, it's a good time.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much for joining me again. Hunter McIntyre here representing Second Skin here at the 2017 CrossFit Games here in Madison, Wisconsin. And thanks for joining us for the sports news. Stay tuned for more after the break.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
All right, so many things going on here at the Reebok CrossFit Games 2017 out at the Alliant Energy Center. We're back over by where the bike events are going to be going on, almost by like Quan Park, if you kind of get where the area is out here. And there's so many people that are around. It's not just the athletes, spectators, everybody that's working the events, but a lot of press coverage as well as we bring in actually someone with Men's Health Magazine. We have Spencer Mastel, who is with us, and thank you so much for joining us. So Men's Health Magazine, I think one of the things that I really enjoy about it is they get into fitness a lot, and they talk about it, show you exercises to do, nutrition plans, stuff like that. So the CrossFit Games seems like kind of a natural match with that. Is that why you're here then?
Absolutely. So again, we always try and give our readers practical information that they can use in their lives. So I was just looking at Noah Olson. He's definitely a favorite here for the men. I was just looking at his nutrition plan for June and July. You know, he eats 400 grams of carbs a day. Right, so you are really seeing some kind of amazing things with nutrition. I know that Team Invictus, they actually had their blood work done, looking for biomarkers for how they can train even better, the supplements that they can use to maximize their performance. So yeah, there's a lot happening that you don't see.
He's got to be at a pretty high activity level. If I'm at 400 grams of carbs a day, I'm at 400 pounds in a few weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's pretty amazing. So have you covered these games in the past? I know they've been in California the last 10 years. Is there some kind of perspective you can put it in as far as like how the games in Madison seem to be shaping up?
So far, everything seems pretty amazing. You know, I covered the regionals up in Albany a couple of weeks ago, and this is just so much bigger. You know, there are regionals all over the world, and those are big affairs, but this is something else entirely. You know, they call this the Burning Man of fitness, or the Mecca of fitness, and I think that's very apt.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think it's kind of hard. We've been talking about the CrossFit Games for a couple of weeks on the sports news now. To put it in perspective, just how big that this event is, and how many people are interested in, how many people are working out here, and why it's important for you to get out here and check this out for Madison. It's going to be in Madison for 3 years now, so I think that's big. So in bringing it to Men's Health Magazine, how do you capture that scope? You know, how do you fit that in to let everybody know just how big and expansive it is?
That's a great question. So obviously there are the individual men and the individual women. There's also a team competition. There are also teens here and masters. You know, they're going up to 59, 60 years old. So you have to capture kind of the variety of performance, but also of ages. So that's what we're trying to do right now. Show the teams, the masters, the teens, the individuals, show everyone.
Now, your focus, is it more on events, or is it on the actual athletes themselves? Is it how the athletes are training? What are you focusing on mostly here?
It's going to be a mix of everything. So obviously we want to see the actual performances themselves. Every year we see something new. You know, the bicycles, I feel like, are maybe rattling some of the athletes, but are also a huge opportunity for people to do something they've never done before. And weekend. So we're going to see some breakouts, and then we're going to see just amazing feats of strength, right? Like everything is going to happen this weekend.
What are some of the events you're looking forward to? It seems like there's a lot of emphasis, and right over this way in our direction is that obstacle course with everything. It seems like tons of bleachers around. Great spot for fans to come and check it out. What are some of the events that you're looking for?
So I competed on American Ninja Warrior, so that is my background. So obviously the obstacle course is what I want to see most, because these are big men, big muscular women, right? And they're gonna have to be pretty graceful. You know, if they want to get through this quickly, they're gonna need good technique and they're gonna need finesse.
You know, I was just talking with that about Brian earlier today. He was behind the camera there. He said, looks like American Ninja Warrior.
It is. I wish we saw a warped wall at the very end for them to go up, but like, it's definitely there.
It is really cool. So we'll wrap it up here. Where can people find you then? Maybe on Twitter, or how can they follow you then, Spencer?
So I'm at Spencer Mestel. So SpencerMestel. Definitely follow me on Twitter. Check me out, Men's Health, Men's Fitness, Men's Journal.
Very cool stuff. Hey, nice to meet you. Thanks for spending a few minutes here. We'll be back with more from the Reebok CrossFit Games 2017 from the Alliant Energy Center right here on the Sports News.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
Hi, and welcome back to the Sports News. I am so excited to be on location here at the CrossFit Games 2017 at the Alliant Energy Center. I have a really amazing person next to me, the owner of RX Smart Gear, David Newman.
Hi, Emily. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, David?
Oh, having a blast out here. Madison is amazing. So happy to be here.
Thank you so much for saying that. I'm such a townie, so I'm so proud. We were talking before we started here about how Madison has been embracing the CrossFit Games. Tell me about what you've seen.
Oh, big time. I mean, it's amazing. I've been to every CrossFit Games with my company when it was in Carson. Loved it. It was great, but never been to a company, or excuse me, a town where you guys have just adopted this event and really just embraced it. And it's cool to see all the menus in town and all the signs that are really welcoming the CrossFit community. So it's phenomenal.
Thank you for saying that. We are so proud to hear that. So Madison folks out there, good job welcoming the games. We're doing great.
Absolutely. Great job.
So a few questions for you about your company, RX Smart Gear. Tell me what that is.
Yeah, RX Smart Gear. So we are an equipment company based out of Southern California. Started in my garage 9 years ago as a hobby, and we got lucky kind of growing up with CrossFit. We are now the official jump rope for USA Wrestling, the official jump rope for USA Boxing. We support a lot of the top athletes competing at the games, and so we love to come and support them as well, and support the community as well. So, yeah.
Fantastic. So jump rope, and you said you've done CrossFit for how many years yourself?
Going on 10 years, my wife and I.
Wow, 10 years. What has CrossFit done for you as far as your personal life and your journey?
You know what? It's a lifestyle, and I know that's kind of cliche, but when you get into CrossFit, you have to live it, and you love the people that you're with. You know that everybody's healthy-minded, and they're like-minded. So couples CrossFit together. You know, we joke about that. That CrossFit together, you stay together. But all of our best friends are in the CrossFit world, and we've now accumulated friends across the globe that are part of this community, and it's a pretty cool thing.
It really is. There's like an international phenomenon with CrossFit, and you can feel it here at the games. I mean, I've been walking around and I've heard so many different languages. It's quite incredible. So something to be proud to be part of for me and for you as well. What else would you like to say to folks out there about your company or about CrossFit in general?
Oh my gosh, well, you know what? We feel like we have some of the best products around if you're in the jump rope world. So come on out, we'll teach you, we'll let you demo product, and we'll give you some pointers and help you out. And there's a lot of amazing other vendors out here that you should check out and have great products as well.
Fabulous, fabulous. David Newman of RX Smart Gear. Jump roping is something as we've all done as little kids. Bring it up, do it more with yourself as a grown-up. Come here and join us at the CrossFit Games, having a great time here. David, thank you so much for being with us today on the Sports News.
Thanks, Emily. Appreciate it very much.
See you later for more Sports News. Thank you and stay with us.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
Hi, and welcome back to the special edition on location Sports News here at the CrossFit Games 2017 in Madison, Wisconsin. We're so excited to be here. We're chatting with a bunch of different people today, but I would like to introduce a very special gentleman here on my right by the name of Patty Spence, the CEO of Zevia Products. Welcome, thank you for being here. Tell us about Zevia.
Thank you for having me. So Zevia is a zero-calorie beverage company, and what we do is we make products without sugar, calories, or artificial sweeteners. Everything we do is sweetened with stevia. We have soda, energy drinks, and sparkling water, and now mixers as well.
Wow, that is a long list of things. That's great. So For folks out there that don't know what stevia is as something you can use as a non-sugar based mix-in, please let them know, enlighten them.
Absolutely. Stevia is the most popular alternative sweetener in the U.S. now. It's a plant in the sunflower family that is 200 times as sweet as sugar with no calories and no impact on blood sugar. So for folks who are trying to reduce their sugar, like 84% of Americans, it's an amazing solution.
Wow, and it's a plant, and it really doesn't get better than that. I mean, if people are wondering what's going into their body, this is a plant. No sugar, but it still sweetens in a very healthy way. That's fantastic. So tell me, Patty, how did you end up here at the CrossFit Games? What is the connection?
Well, CrossFit is all about optimizing your performance and being the best you can be, not just in terms of exercise, but also diet. And one of the things that CrossFitters and Zevia have in common is we believe that sugar is the cause of many, if not most, disease states. So by reducing or eliminating sugar from your diet, you can optimize your athletic performance or just feel better every day.
Absolutely. I didn't know that. That's such good. We're getting some medical information here, so much nutrition information. Now, you have a special person, I think, that you mentioned before we started. Fill me in on what's going on there.
Sure. One of our sponsored athletes is a gentleman named Brent Fikowski. Brent is from British Columbia, and he's one of the top elite CrossFitters. He was number 4 in the men's individual going into today. He's had an amazing performance today, and he's a guy who really embodies the Zevia lifestyle. He's an accountant. He is a CrossFitter, he's a no-sugar guy, and he's a Zevia drinker. He's just an amazing individual.
So he's a person that can honestly tell you and tell everyone out there that this product is something that's going to make you feel better, make better choices about your nutrition, and generally it's a good company that's involved in the CrossFit lifestyle.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're all about sustainability and, frankly, promoting public health. Sugar consumption is a global health crisis. Almost 10% of the worldwide population is diabetic, and it's causing tremendous health problems for not just Americans, but people around the world. So Brent is a guy who's leading the charge, not just in terms of being an inspiration in athletics, but also nutrition.
And do you do CrossFit, Patty?
I've done it. I had an injury last year, but I'm trying to stay active. I just turned 50, and it's an amazing workout for folks of any age.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you with your future in CrossFit. CVS sounds fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us today on the Sports News. Anything last moments to say?
Well, thank you so much for having me. We love Madison, and we're so thrilled to be here.
Well, we love having you all here, too. Again, this has been the Sports News Special Edition at the 2017 CrossFit Games. Stay tuned for more sports news after the break.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
All right, we are continuing to wrap up here from the CrossFit Games 2017 out at the Align Energy Center. Big weekend for a lot of people, but none bigger probably for a weekend than this man standing right here. We had him on the show a couple weeks ago, and it's Jeb, of course, from CrossFit Fort Atkinson, and we were talking about the games coming. They finally came. We're wrapping it up right now, so everybody wants to know, hey, how did it go? How did you do?
It went awesome. I took 4th place overall. I had an amazing time. The whole weekend just was incredible. I don't know that it's fully sunk in yet, to be honest. But I had a lot of fun, which was my main focus. Have fun, do good in every event, or do the best I could to my ability in every event, and leave it all out there. And I definitely did that, and I ended up 4th place. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Congratulations on a great weekend. You know, I got to say, there has to be some pretty special athletes then that are coming in front of you then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, the guys that are in my age group, I mean, anybody that makes it to the games, you have to be pretty talented. You know, it's a lot of discipline, a lot of sacrifice, and yeah, I mean, there's very few of us in the world, so it takes a pretty special person.
You know, it's pretty cool. Usually I'm the only one that's going to get stopped for autographs around here and people taking pictures with me and stuff. Full disclosure, right before we do this interview, you're stopped, autographs, the whole thing. How does that feel? Because that's always an interesting experience, isn't it?
It is. It's very interesting. And I think it's getting a little easier. It's definitely, to me, I'm just a guy that happens to be good at a couple of things, I guess. And yeah, I don't know if it's ever going to feel normal. But I definitely enjoy it. You know, if people, it's neat hearing people say that, you know, they look up to me and stuff like that. It makes you feel good for sure.
Got to take this Stardom, turn it into a Reebok commercial now, right?
Yeah, right.
I think it helps too. You might be the most tatted athlete that's here. Do you think that makes you stand out?
A little bit. You can definitely. There's been a lot of people like you definitely stand out. You're easy to pick out of a crowd. So you know, it's it is what it is. Like and this is just me. I'm just being myself. So if people like it, then that's awesome.
Attendance here, we heard from a lot of people that were involved in the games. Record setting here, absolutely amazing. Yeah, so they sold more pre-sale tickets for this game than any other time. And so taking it out of California turned out to be a pretty good thing, I think, for everybody that was involved bringing it here. It's going to be here for the next 2 years. So what does that mean now for you personally, looking forward to next year's games?
I want to come back. I'm going to work as hard as I can and do what I got to do to be back here next year. I want to fight for I want to be on the podium. I'm happy with the fourth, fittest guy in the world in my age group, but in the end, we're all competitors, and I want to win.
Absolutely good. Yeah, that's what we like to hear. So, what do you think it means to as far as for CrossFit in the state of Wisconsin and for South Central Wisconsin specifically, and for your gym? The focus, the bounce that comes off of this, the interest level that's peaking, I think, for people, it's got to be a good thing, not only just for CrossFit, but for people in general, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The thing I just tell my wife is that everybody in my gym, just about like half of them volunteered, the other half was here cheering me on, and they all get the experience. They know what the games is all about, or what CrossFit is all about, and it goes for everybody in around this area. And I think that it's nothing but a good thing for obviously gyms in the area. So yeah, I mean it's perfect. I think it's what the Midwest needed as far as CrossFit goes.
Yeah, and it was really interesting, too. I'm sure a lot of you have been to sporting events where you go to, say, like a Packers game or a Badgers game. People are tailgating, drinking beer. They don't exactly look very fit. This was the fittest group of spectators I think I have ever seen. People that were coming out were into it, dressed for it, and working out here, weren't they?
Yes, they were. You'll see people working out in the parking lot. They'll pull out weights and bars, set up, do a workout before they come in here or whatever. Yeah, you don't get that at other sporting events very often, but it's still at the same time, everybody's having fun, you know what I mean? And I think that, to me and to a lot of us, is the most important, have a good time when you come to these things.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. They're kind of wrapping up. I wanted to get your thoughts, though, too, as they start to tear this thing down. It took them a couple weeks to put it all up. What did you think of the size of this? Because I know we had you on the show, and we were talking about CrossFit Games, and I never really clicked with me how big it is. Did it blow you away?
It definitely blew me away, and and obviously I actually come to Madison quite often. So it was like there was nothing here, and then bam, like the whole thing was here. And that's what I was telling the guys in my age division. It's like, you guys don't understand what this place looks like before this. And then it's amazing what they come in and do in literally a couple of weeks. It's a lot of hard work out of those guys, but they do a phenomenal job, and they put on a good show for sure.
Did it change how you perform at all, seeing like the cameras that were like on cables, the cameras on drones, stuff like that? Were you aware of them? Did it change your performance?
You definitely know they're there, but I like it. I like performing and working out in front of a crowd, in front of the lights. It definitely boosts your energy, And then, like I said, a lot of the people that were there. Shout out to all of Wisconsin for supporting me. Because the crowd was huge. It plays a big role. It gives you that energy when you don't feel like you can do anything more, and yeah, so it makes a huge difference.
Jeb, you did great. Check him out, CrossFit Fort Atkinson, and on the sports news. I mean, go there, the bottom third here, all that kind of stuff. Check him out. Congratulations on a fantastic weekend. We appreciate your time, and we'll come back, wrap things up here from the CrossFit Games on the sports news on 57 Sports.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
All right, things starting to wind down here at the CrossFit Games 2017. We sure have enjoyed bringing it to you, though. So many stories to come out of it, and to help share some of those stories, we have Brian here from CrossFit Connex, and thank you again for us being able to chat with you, talk about how things went. It seems like this weekend, to me, when we first got here, we set up on Wednesday, and we saw the setup that was going on. This is huge, isn't it? I mean, if you could try to put it in perspective, just how big it is, because I don't think if you didn't come out here, you can't quite get a sense of how big this was.
Right. It's like having a Badger game day every day for 4 straight days. 50, 60,000 people, and the size of the Alliant Energy Center taking over the whole place, and lots of energy, lots of excitement, and a lot of great athletes working out and spectators cheering them on.
You know, what I was really taken aback with, too, it's not only the athletes that were in fantastic shape, it was a lot of the spectators that came here, and even to show off at some of the activities and stuff that they were able to do. Does that mean that some of your members were able to do some of that?
Yeah, a lot of my members helped volunteer, so they were help putting the show on, changing the floors out, changing equipment, getting everything ready so the athletes could throw down and have a great time.
So now, what does it mean for your gym? It seems like there's definitely a heightened awareness in Madison. Everywhere that I've gone over the past week, people were talking about it. I was walking into businesses, they had the games on, and we're actually watching it. I mean, it was a big deal here in Madison. So what do you think it means then going forward for your gym?
Sure. So it's going to be big for Madison, especially since we're back here the next 2 years. So CrossFit's going to get big in Madison. I highly recommend everybody try it out. Come on into one of the gyms, especially CrossFit Connex. We've been getting phone calls and emails already of people wanting to start training, see what this whole CrossFit thing is about. And my members will love having new people to work out with and hang out with and have friendships that'll last for a lifetime.
Very cool. You know, I was actually loving the stadium that they had built just outside for the obstacle course. As far as events went and what you saw, what was your favorite of the 4 days?
I liked the strongman event. Some objects that the athletes don't normally do a lot in succession, and they gave them the choice to decide which implement they wanted to move throughout the workout. But the caveat of doing the handstand walk in between the implements was a pretty neat changeover. So that outside and that obstacle course was pretty cool. Rogue Fitness did a great job setting that up, and got to see it from the finish mat a couple days before the event. So seeing it from above and kind of walking on the mats that all the athletes would be finishing on was a really cool thing for me.
Yeah, it was really neat, and the setup was very cool. Also, the people that were out and testing the equipment before it actually happened, before it was used by the athletes. I can't believe how many people are actually here working the games. You were talking about some of the people from your gym volunteering. What did you think of the scope of it? To me, it seemed like a small Olympic village.
Right, yeah, definitely. So all the 600 athletes that are here, the demo team, which is a set of 6 athletes that didn't quite qualify for the games, they bring them in to test the workouts. So they're running around doing everything that all the athletes are going to be doing, showing them what struggles and what obstacles they may be dealing with. But then you have all the fans that are getting to do spectator events, working out on the same equipment that all the athletes did. The run, swim, run event, the spectators were able to do that as well, and the obstacle course, and just it's a great environment for not only the athletes and not only the fans of CrossFit, but anybody who might be into those type of events, people who run and train for triathlon, people who do Spartan races and Tough Mudders. They can come out and try these things. There's likely to be some new events next year that everybody's going to be able to try, so it's a really cool environment down here.
You know, here's what I think might be interesting as well. There were spectators here that I'm guessing haven't done CrossFit yet, and we're just maybe along with somebody who's into CrossFit. Now they check this out and stuff like that. What do you say to those people? How do you say, you know what, get off the sidelines, get involved with this?
The excitement of the CrossFit Games helps kind of create that spark of, hey, I see these fit people and I see all the people that are cheering them on. I like this vibe, I like this excitement, and I want to try it. That's kind of how I got started. I saw it on TV. I saw, hey, I do some running, I do some weightlifting. Let's put it together and try it out. Heard really good things, and I've loved it ever since. Especially as a coach, being able to help new people come in and train them to do things that they've never done before. Kind of unleash some potential that they never realized they had. And so when you train somebody to do something they haven't done, maybe it's ever, maybe it's just in a while, it's a really exciting thing for me as a coach. And seeing that look in their eye of when they hit a PR or do their first handstand hold or something like that, it makes me enjoy waking up at 4:30 every morning and coming to the gym and turning the lights on and stay until 8:30, 9 at night.
Well, you enjoy waking up at 4:30 in the morning. Maybe you could do radio morning hosting too. I don't recommend it. Just to kind of wrap everything up. It seems like there were a lot of women here as well, and everybody was kind of amazed at the fitness level that they saw from the women and stuff like that. As far as women go and getting involved in the sport, they're kind of a force, aren't they?
Absolutely. The women's race for the individual competition was tighter than any other part of this event. So it went down to the last event. It went down to the last microsecond of who crossed that finish line at the end. And they're incredible athletes, incredibly strong women, and they enjoy working out together. They enjoy competing. They push each other, and that's what it's like in a gym. In any CrossFit gym, the women get together. They text each other, they Snapchat each other, they encourage each other, help each other with nutrition, help each other with lifting each other up for the next lift, the next workout, whatever the case may be. And then we go have fun afterwards.
Very cool. Always a good thing to do. So, and even here, they had a beer garden and everything. So everybody had a good time one way or another. So, hey, Brian, thank you so much. Yeah, we'll have a little bit more still to come here on the Sports News on 57 Sports.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
Back out at the CrossFit Games here at the Align Energy Center and everything that surrounds it, the Coliseum in the background and the grounds. It has been one amazing weekend. We want to at least put a little spin of a recap on what everybody has seen so far. If you've been following along on TV, on the internet, whatever you've been doing or coming out live, it has been quite the weekend here in Madison as the CrossFit Games have come here. And we have familiar faces. Dirk and Nicole Gessler are with us. Well, at least you're a familiar face here. We get to bring in the better half, as you described her right now. Exactly. And talk a little bit about the CrossFit Games. So guys, what has it meant for you this week to have the CrossFit Games in Madison?
There's been a pretty huge level of traffic. I think they said they sold 60,000 tickets. So a lot of those people come into town and they want to work out. So there's been a lot of people rolling through just working out, which is cool. Really cool. Really good vibe in the gym for the last week.
So you actually have people that just out of town that just said, hey, we're dropping by, we're going to work out?
We had people from, I think somebody was excited they got to put the Norway sticker on our map. We have a map of all the people that have been visiting. So Norway, Germany, Australia, everywhere. They just come to watch the games and get a workout in.
Now, it seemed like the men's competition you were talking about a little bit one-sided. The women's competition was pretty good, wasn't it? Tell us what you saw, Nicole, and what you thought of the 4 days here.
I think it's been an amazing 4 days, and actually, we've had a lot of visitors, but we've also had a lot of games athletes come through our doors, training, coming to Madison a little bit early, getting used to the atmosphere, the climate, stuff like that. And the top 3 women's finishers all worked out at our gym last week. So that's kind of something in the chalk bucket, I don't know. So that was pretty amazing to have just that level of elite athletes at our gym, everyday athletes from all around the world. It's been amazing. I think we're all really tired, but I think when we kind of take a step back and look at it and just kind of see what happened here in Madison those last 2 weeks, what happened to our gym, what happened to our city, our community, it's a really pretty amazing thing.
That's a point of distinction. I think that's something to put on the door of the website, something, that they work out at CrossFit Recursive. I think that's really cool. So, one of the things that I was kind of taken aback with too, as everybody's kind of filing out now, but you see so many people in great shape. And I'm just blown away by their level of fitness and what I saw over the last 4 days. So, a lot of people I think that aren't familiar with CrossFit that might wonder, hey, is this for me or not? I think if you could see results like that, kind of makes an impact, doesn't it?
It really makes a huge impact. And the thing is, it's exciting because you may not be doing the workouts at the level that they are, but you're doing the same movements, you're doing the same stuff as the athletes that worked out in the games.
So is it just me, Nicole, or does it seem like there's more women here than there are men? It seems like they're everywhere and in fantastic shape.
Yeah, I would say that worldwide, it's about a 60-40 split women to men that actually are in CrossFit affiliates that do CrossFit. Usually women, they like to be coached, they like to be competitive, they are very coachable because they want to learn. Sometimes the men, not always, but sometimes the men are like, hey, I can do that on my own, I don't need anybody to tell me what to do. So we do find that our gym is about 65-35 women to men.
Wow, very impressive. I was kind of impressed too. The grounds here themselves, they use just about every available square inch, from the tip to the tail, from the parking lot to Quan Park. It's kind of like an Olympic village. What did you think of the scope, actually, of the games, the setup, and everything that you saw for 4 days?
I think they did a really good job coming in here and kind of converting a lot of the stuff that's never done something quite like this before and using as much of it as possible. I mean, they ran across to Olin Park and swam out into the lake. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. So now, as we go ahead, so hopefully there's a bounce, if you will, off the CrossFit Games, and it gets everybody energized. It's going to be here for another 2 years, which is also exciting as well. Are you able to use this weekend to help even grow the business, or even say, just get more people involved in CrossFit?
Yeah, we certainly hope so. I mean, we've already gotten, I think, 6 or 8 calls this past week from people like, hey, I've seen CrossFits in town. I kind of been thinking about it. I know what it is, but I'm kind of ready to get into the gym. And so we are hoping that that impact, just people knowing what CrossFit is, and then just learning that, you don't have to be this level of fitness to do it. We want you to come in the door. We want you to just come off the couch. This is like the Super Bowl of fitness, and we're kind of the Pee-wee, flag football.
I actually think it was kind of cool. They had stuff set up for people just to walk through. If you walk through like the little vendor village part or whatever that they had set up, I mean, there's tents, there's activities, the rogue tent, if you will, that was in there. I mean, amazing that you can do all this stuff and be competitive as well. So I think CrossFit, more than, say, like a lot of sports, really allows people who maybe have never done it before to jump in with both feet first, doesn't it?
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, yeah, you can play football, right? You can go with friends in the field near their house and play football, but it's not the same. Like you can come and do, like I said earlier, the same movements. You can learn the same things that they do.
Yeah, I'm not throwing a football like Aaron Rodgers. Right. I'm not tracking it down like a wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, it's much different. If I want to play baseball or something like that, it's going to be beer league softball. Right. But with CrossFit, you can jump right in, and I think that's something that's very, very cool. So we got a few seconds here to kind of put a wraps on it. If you could just give me your final thoughts, what you thought of the days here, what do you expect going forward, and then your expectations for the next 2 years that the CrossFit Games are going to be here.
I think it's just been an amazing weekend, amazing 2 weeks actually leading up to the games. We're really happy that they're in Madison. I think it's just going to get bigger and better. I know that was part of the appeal, is that they can grow from here. And I do believe that CrossFit headquarters said that they had more guests. They sold more tickets this year than they've done any of the other years in California. And they did need to leave because they want to grow and they couldn't do that where they were at. So it's just going to get bigger and better.
Yeah, I think that's one of the great things about our area, too. If there's something like that, an event that comes to town that people can really get behind, you see them really get behind it, and hopefully that means great things going forward. Fitness level was great out here. A lot of fun for everybody, activities, all that kind of stuff. Absolutely wonderful. So, guys, hopefully it means bigger and better things even for you guys going forward. Yeah, thank you so much for being on the show, sharing this with us, and we will have more from the CrossFit Games 2017 here on Wisconsin's 57 Sports.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
All right, final countdown here from the Reebok CrossFit Games 2017 out at the Align Energy Center. If you didn't make it out for the 4 days of competition around here, don't despair. They're coming back for the next 2 years, and you'll be able to watch the sports news over and over again, and hopefully you all enjoyed it. Wanted to say thank you to Emily and Ellen. Did a great job with some of the interviews out here. Thank you to all of our sponsors as well, especially want to say hi to the Red Zone over on Regent Street and Conan Automotive over in Stoughton. We'll see you from the studio next week right here on the Sports News on Wisconsin's 57 Sports.